Yo guys, today was the day and I got my new upgrade kit for the Ultimate pedal set, and I just want to show you what changed, what I have to say about the Ultimates in general, the old version, and what the new upgrade kit brings for you, including the software for the smart control. This is what the Ultimates look like after you upgraded them to the new 1.5 version. There's a new smart control software. I put that box a little under my rig. It's here and it's full aluminium. You can mount it to your rig directly, plug in all those things, and then it just works perfectly. This is the look of the new washers and the new elastomers. There's also some new ball mounts for these pedals, for the throttle pedal and the clutch pedal, but I didn't mount them because I don't have a problem at all with them. As you can see, when I press the throttle pedal, it's just smooth and crispy and still working after 4 years. One thing that didn't change with the upgrade kit is the mounting at the axle of the pedals. These were the only things I had problems with wear and where I had to change or I had to make some modifications, but I showed this in another video. Just search for Heusinkveld brake mod and then you will see what I did to get rid of the this movement sideways. It's now completely stiff, and before it was it wasn't stiff left and right. So what brings the new brake mod and how does it feel? So now to the Heusinkveld Smart Control software. This is version 1.4.1 for 64 bits, and it's the same software being used in the Heusinkveld Sprint pedals. And it was a great thing getting the software for the Sprint pedals, but the Ultimate users couldn't use it because of the Smart Control box. And now we can use it with the Ultimate pedals, which is a big plus in my opinion. It's not just because you can set the brake curves and the throttle curves, and it's just the configuration. And for iRacing, I will show you something how I did it before, and the benefit of the new software where you can change settings on the fly without leaving the simulator at all. First of all, the calibration process, it's very simple. You have the pedals here, then you can start the calibration, and then you just press throttle, brake and clutch as hard as you can and release it. And after that, everything is perfectly calibrated and it's setting a dead zone of 5% by default, which is okay for me, because when I put my feet resting on the brake, for example, you see the little blue bar. This is my resting position and it's perfectly within the 5%, so that's good. And here I start braking. You can see the green bar coming up. This is 1%, and then I can really press the throttle very smoothly. You see, I can release it very smoothly. There are no hops. There is no jumping off the bar. It's just perfectly up to 100%, where I really have to press hard because I set 85 kilogram, and then I can go smoothly down. This is maybe because of the software, but the new progressive elastomers are really great. What is different to the old ones, the white and the green ones? It's more progressive. This means when I don't press that hard in the lower brake pressures, you really have a perfect feeling and you can adjust it really good. And when you come up over 50%, it's really getting hard, and then you feel okay, you're getting to the end, and then at the end it's just like pressing it into a wall, like if the hydraulic is at the end and you can't press it anymore, and you really feel it in the rubber. And coming down under 50%, it's just an ease to modulate and to press the brake pedal. Really great. You can adjust the brake curves. I'm not a friend of this, let's say, put it this way, because if you set, for example, I can set 85% max on the brake, then you see I have a little, so I have a little curve that stops at 85%. So I can press like a madman into my brake pedal and it won't reach more than 85%. So 85% is the peak of the GT3 cars before ABS locks in, and so by setting this curve, you just can't yeah, you can press without brain, and you will never exceed the ABS. That's that's a good feature because of the curve you can set. But I'm not a real friend of it. I'm using linear because I want to have it in my feet going into the ABS or just down below or locking tires in, for example, a GTE or a Formula 3 car. But it's a great feature, and if you want to use it, use it. Many guys using the sprint pedals already did this with a maximum brake pressure lock, and it's okay for me. Throttle pedal, I don't know why you should put it another way than linear, but you can also do this. Same goes for the clutch, because clutch is just press it and then release it, and then you can see. Maybe you can put the curve like exponential, because then you have more feeling in the lower section of the clutch. But mostly in iRacing, at this point, 60% the clutch is already biting, and then under 50% I just release it. So no real need for dynamic curve. But it's a great feature, and you can adjust it here. You have presets, slow start, slow end, and so on, which where you can adjust it to your pleasure. The dead zones can be also be defined here in the software. Default, it's 5% top down at the clutch and the throttle, and the brake pedal is open-ended, but it has a dead zone of 5%, which is perfectly with my rest position, which is about 1% or 2% pressure on the brake. So I will never get a brake. A little brake input when on the straights or when I go downhill, because with the motion, I'm always with the feet, and you see it's not going into brake pressure. I really have to press to get the green bar up. Love this feature because I will show you what I did before to get this working in iRacing. It's great because you can put it up and down with just one click. Same for the throttle pedal. When I'm braking or when I rest on the throttle pedal, it's about this, and I'm always down the 5%. It's perfect. And with the 5% on top, you never have the problem that you are on 90.9% throttle, which can cost you a few thousandths or tenths in the worst case. So I'm at 100%, but there's a little, you can see it in the feed cam, there's a little bit of travel left, but it's always here, it's 100%, and then I can go this little, but when I press it to the bottom, I know I'm on 100%, and that's great. The best feature with the software is if you're using iRacing, everybody knows iRacing and the Ultimates calibrating and different cars was always in this file, because with the iRacing setup you couldn't set the values like you want them for dead zone, upper dead zone, lower dead zone, and so on. I always had to open the iView. Then let's take the throttle. It's this pedal here. We see raw data, and then I just have to say, okay, I press it. This should be my dead zone. Then you have the minimum value of 100, and then you could put the calip min here on 100, so you have the dead zone. Same goes for the up zone, and I say, okay, I want 100% here. It's 3966, and then you had to put in the calip max 3966. Now it's completely, it's not used anymore. It's from 0 to 4095. That's it. Everything else is calibrated in the software, and that's great. And after calibration, the DI view for normal games like Assetto Corsa Competizione or IMS or what you drive is calibrated too, because the software sets the joystick API with the iView, and it's the same values they use. So the iView is completely configured after you configure the smart control software. You don't have to use the iView anymore. You don't have to use the joy calip anymore. You can do everything inside the software, and that's a great feature, Heusinkveld. Really, love it. Generally, I had no problem switching to the new smart control software. It's labeled with throttle, brake, and clutch, and you just put in your pedals and go through the calibration process. That's it, working. No EMS issues. EMI, I meant, because I didn't have them before with the old box. So with the new Alu box, there's less EMI, so 0 to 0. While driving, I have to say, I have better control with trail braking because the lower pressure zones are really sensible and better to control with the new elastomers. And when you go hard, you really feel, okay, now I'm at the brake pressure peak. And then you don't go into the ABS driving a GT3 car. I tested the GT3 car on the Nordschleife with the new pedals. It was the 911, and it's very twitchy on the brakes, but it works perfectly, and I could really put the pressure I want and didn't get into the ABS. So all in all, I would say if you have the Ultimates, get the upgrade. It's making those really great pedals just marvelous. It's epic. I love it, and I hope everybody using the upgrade kit has as much fun as I do. And yeah, see you on track, guys. Bye.